Basketball is a ball game in which two teams compete for one ball and score points to shoot into the ring defended by the other team. This fast-paced 5 versus 5 ball game that has billions of fans across the globe is one of the most watched and loved games in the history of sports. With every fan owning a basketball today, we see children and adults alike playing the game in streets and the courts. Playing or watching, you can't deny the fact that this game is interesting and very entertaining to watch. And if you watch or play the game, we're sure at some point in time, you might have wondered how the basketballs are made. Well, in this video, we answer that question. Hey guys, welcome to another exciting video from our channel, How's It Made? In this video today, we take you through the process of how the basketballs are made. But before we jump into the video, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to our channel and also hit the bell icon to get a notification whenever we upload a new video. Well, that said, let's begin. History of basketball. The basket was invented in 1891 in the United States. At that time, most sports in the United States were seasonal and there was nothing to enjoy in the winter. Therefore, basketball was devised to create a sport that can be enjoyed even in winter and indoors. James Naismith, a physical education teacher at the International YMCA Training School in Springfield, Massachusetts, hung 2 peach baskets on the handrails of the gymnasium and threw the ball into the basket to score points. It all started with the idea of competing. As a result, it was precisely inspired by the game Duck on the Rock, which Naismith enjoyed as a boy, and he named it basketball because he used a basket. Whereas speaking of the reason why the backboard was born is that when you think of basketball, you might think that there is a backboard behind the basketball goal, but in reality, this backboard, it was born for some surprising reason. Well, the main reason is to prevent the spectators from getting in the way. In 1892, a large rectangular net was set up between the basket and the spectators in response to the situation where the spectators watching the game on the second floor interfered with the shot. However, it happened that this net was destroyed by the audience, so the current backboard was installed. Moreover, this backboard was also used to board for a while, but since there was an opinion that the goal could not be seen from the back of the backboard, it was changed to a transparent backboard. With the backboard installed, various shoots such as layups and bank shots were born. Then began the spread of the sport to countries around the world through YMCA. Invented by Mr. Naismith, basketball spread throughout the United States that year. And then it was propagated all over the world through international students from each country who came to the International YMCA Training School. Currently, the basketball competition population is about 450 million. The establishment of the Basketball Federation. In 1932, the International Basketball Federation was established. With basketball being introduced around the world, based in Geneva, Switzerland, it oversees international match arrangements. The International Basketball Federation was established in 8 countries, and 214 associations joined in 2014. In 1936, Japan was also a member. Since 2003, the region has been divided into 5 zones: Asia, America, Europe, Oceania, and Africa, and is responsible for managing international competitions. It joined the International Olympic Federation in 1934 and has been an Olympic sport since 1936. That said, let's see how the basketballs are made, shall we? Cool, the pre-printed decals are used to mark balls, or foils are used to emboss label information. Zinc-plated and copper plates are used in printing machines to paste decals or emboss foils. Manufacturing process. Formation of the bladder. The production of basketball starts with the inner tank. Black butyl rubber in bulk form is melted in the hopper of the press, and the press sends it out as a continuous sheet 12 inches wide and 0.5 inches thick. On the other hand, a guillotine-like cutting machine cuts the strips into 18-inch long slices and then stacks them. A manually controlled machine selects one sheet at a time and then uses a punch to punch a 1-inch diameter hole that'll secure the air tube used to inflate the airbag. Next, the plates are transported to the assembly line by a plate elevator or conveyor, where the air pipes are inserted by hand. Further, a heated fusion device glues it to the quarter-folded sheet. Meanwhile, another punching machine punches out a rounded edge while joining the edge to form the seam of the airbag until the shape of this bladder is not perfect. And then the perfectly shaped bladder is brought to the vulcanizing machine. To be precise, vulcanization is the process of heating rubber under pressure to improve its performance by making it more flexible, more durable, and stronger. In the vulcanizer, the airbag inflates. As a result, the rubber is evenly sealed by vulcanization and heating to keep it air. The completed bladder is stored in the storage room for 24 hours. As this quality control measure tests their ability to hold air, those outgassed are recovered, giving shape to the carcass. Now, the airbag that has undergone a 24-hour inflation test is transported. These shaped airbags are now beginning to take on better, rounder shapes. Stating facts, Why this process is important because the nature of the thread and the number of strands determine the cost and condition of the ball, whereas the skeleton of a typical street-quality basketball is made of a multi-layer wrap of 3 strands of polyester thread. Further, the skeleton of the ball used by the professional team is composed of nylon thread and wrapped with 4-strand thread. The same overhead conveyor continues to transport the airbag enclosing the carcass through the air pipe to the next step in the process where the carcass and the cover meet. Formation of the cover of the ball. The inside of the vulcanizer is different from that of the airbag. It's suitable for fixing 6 panels, creating channels between panels, and adding any embossed information. The assembler separately installs the panel to the designated part of the vulcanizer. The airbag or carcass is removed from the overhead conveyor, coated with a layer of glue, and then placed in the vulcanizer chamber lined with a cover plate. Moreover, by this time the ball gets out of the vulcanizer, most of its surface is still smooth, but the channels and any embossing are already created on the surface. After removing the smooth ball from the vulcanizer, use a small heat press to manually paste decals and foil decorations and information. Each ball is carefully checked for the gap between the panels. These may happen, but during this inspection, each gap is filled with a small piece of hand-cut rubber to fit the gap. And then the ball is installed in another ball, are shaved or trimmed along the edges, installed and glued collectively, and then laminated to the carcass to form channels. They're also embossed and decals are added through the heating process. Any traces of glue around the edges will be removed, and any imperfect panels will be replaced in the final inspection of the synthetic laminate cover. The leather case is made of, and that's how you get your beloved basketball to play around with. And that brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative videos like this one. See you in the next video.